Hey everyone, it's Drew here at Card of My Eye, and today I have a from start to finish video for you guys. It's just a random one, there's no specific point to it, or I should have said specific, not Pacific. Specific point to it. It's just a fun video, and I'm just creating a layout. I'm starting off with a 12 by 12 piece of white cardstock, and this is the Basil Coconut Swirl cardstock. And I have a bit of Espresso Bean Glimmer Glam from Tattered Angels, and I'm going to be using a paintbrush just to add some large splatters of the Espresso Bean Glam on there. This is a great way how to add large splatters onto your pages is if you use a paintbrush. And the Espresso Bean Glimmer Glam is actually kind of thick, so it actually will raise. And if you go to my blog, I'll put my blog in the link below. I'll have detailed photos and stuff. You'll be able to see how it is raised. It kind of looks like raisins, which is sort of gross, but this color made it look like after I dried it, it kind of wrinkled the raised sections and made it look sort of like raisins. And I'm just heating it with my heat tool now. And you just, this process did take me a while because I wanted to make sure that it was really dry. And these were like literally 1/8 of an inch thick. And now I am using my Polaroid frame, which I just cut from kraft cardstock. And I'm layering my photo down on some kraft cardstock, just like a scrap. And then I'm going to layer down my Polaroid frame on top. So I get like a perfect Polaroid frame looking image type thing, if that makes sense. So it overlaps my photo rather than my photo overlapping the Polaroid frame. And I'm going to cut off the excess. So I basically have this when I'm done. And then I am just going to start cutting out some hexagons. And you'll see that in a second here. I have this paper. It's from My Mind's Eye, one of the Miss Caroline collections, and there's all these different hexagons of pattern paper on there, so I am just going to cut out 3 random ones. I did the blue stripe pattern, which was that first one, and now I am doing a music note pattern, and I'm just using my Prima Comfort Craft knife, and lastly I'm going to be doing that lined paper one over there. And I'm going to use these hexagons just as sort of paper accents, paper details. And I place them in so many different spots before I actually find out where I want them to go. And I actually adhere them in a way that was not planned. And you'll see what I mean by that. And I'm using just one of the chalk edges from Prima in a gray color. I forget the color name of this one, but it's in sort of a lightish gray tone. And I'm just lightly chalking the edges just to give it a little bit of definition from the background. And as you can see, I start placing these hexagons down, and you can see how the gray ink just sort of makes it pop off a bit more. And so I decide to just place them around, see where I like them. I thought it was fun to do something like that, but then it reminded me of hot air balloons, which I don't know why it did, but it just did. So I find out that I want to place them here, and basically, that was the alignment I was going for, is my photo going up and down like that, as you see on the screen right now. But I actually pull my photo off in a second, you'll see. And I go ahead and put it back on in a different way. And I actually like the way that I put it on a bit more. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. And I think at the moment right now, I'm going to get some of the crepe paper ruffles from the Neapolitan collection by American Crafts. And I'm going to use the white one, and you just have to use your craft knife to simply cut out the ruffle, or whatever knife you have, and then I'm going to use my trimmer to cut off the top portion because I don't need it all. And these are straight, but I decided just to add a couple of darts in the paper to give it sort of a curved angle. And as you can see, I placed it in a different way. I actually twisted my paper, and I liked it a bit more like that. And I'm adding my crepe paper ruffle sort of as a little, just sort of hanging banner type thingy, I guess you could say. It's just sort of a free-falling ruffle. And I just like the way it looks. I thought it just added a nice flow of movement to the page. And I decided to go ahead with my Neapolitan sticker book and add a couple of sticker banners to it. And I like to actually back all my stickers because then I could pop them up or roll them, and they're not just going to be pressed flat because a sticker is adhesive on the whole sticker. So I like to be able to sort of move mine around and play with them. And I love, absolutely love this sticker I added at the bottom left there. It says touch the sky, and it just has these really pretty birds. I really love this sticker, and I backed it on some cardstock because I wasn't sure of the exact placement I wanted, and I wanted my edges to sort of flare up a bit. And you'll see at the end I sort of flare up all the edges, and it just gives it a little bit of a dimensional accent. And I just cut my fabric, and I actually literally just cut the packaging and everything. I didn't even bother taking it out, and I am just placing it up there with the other banner strip. So I found this little green sticker in there as well, which was sort of like a scrolly element, and I just added that in the sort of cluster up there as well. And I play around with the cluster a little bit because it wasn't really how I liked it, and then I finally figured out a placement for it, and I really like the green sticker that I added up there. So then I am going to just adhere down my photo, and I'm just adding adhesive to the center at the moment because I know I'm going to sew my photo down to the page, so I don't need much adhesive, and I also am going to be able to slip things around the sides of my photo. And I'm also going to be using this package of thickers by American Crafts and Studio Calico. They're little clouds, and I took all 3 of the sizes and just placed them around. And I'm actually going to take the smallest cloud and the largest cloud, and I'm going to spray them using some patina glimmer mist. And you'll see me just take them and add them on a little strip of kraft cardstock. And I just spray them with some patina glimmer mist, and then I will place them down on the page. So now I'm taking some thickers from American Crafts, and these are the Lullaby font in a gray color, and I absolutely love this font, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to write out. So in the end, I actually wrote out sit and stare. So I didn't use this ampersand typograph. I don't even know what to call that thing. But I used the word sit, an S and an I and a T, and then I added the stare right underneath it, and I'm going to actually use a black and cream mini market sticker from American Crafts. And I don't know if I placed these S's in the right direction, because it seems like you could place them in both directions and they'd be an S. So I just spelled out the word sit and stare, and I really like the way it just flows, and then I used a mini market sticker, and I didn't end up using that yellow color. I actually used the black and cream you see right there. So it says sit and stare, and then I like how the little image at the bottom, the little touch the sky, because I'm raising my hand in the air, so it says touch the sky. And I'm just kind of planning out what I want to write, and I finally write out simply gaze into the open. That's what I write out for my journaling. Not much, just because the title and a little image at the bottom left sort of describes it as well. So there wasn't much to write. And I added a couple of teardrop images, or teardrop thickers from that Cloud and Sun sticker set you see in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm actually going to be backing this crepe paper border sticker on some kraft cardstock. That way I could use it in the way I've been using all my other stickers, and I'm able to move them around and not have an exact placement because I'm not sure where I want to put them. So I finally end up to actually add them right underneath that touch the sky image, and see, there's a little example of what I'm talking about. I was actually able to slip things under the sticker because I backed it with cardstock first. I know that that's probably like a pain because it seems like it would be, but it's not. And as you can see, I added some stitching elements. I actually just added stitching along the top of that swoopy ruffle, and I actually stitched down all of the little banners so they stayed in place, and I added some sewing around my photo and to that bottom left hand little touch the sky image, as well as the music note hexagon paper in the bottom right hand corner. Or sorry, not the bottom right hand corner, the top right hand corner. And now I'm using some of these wood veneer cameras from Studio Calico. I just wanted to add one. I've never actually used the wood veneer. This is my first time actually using one of them, and I really love the way they just accent the page. So I just adhere that down right above the word stare. And one of my followers a while back sent me this bag of sequins, and I just kept it off to the side because at the time I didn't really know what I'd use sequins for. But I actually totally love the gold and silver sequins in here, so I just placed a couple of gold and silver sequins down, and where I could on the page I would staple them, and where I have to actually physically glue them, I will glue them down. So I just took a couple different sizes. I think there were 3 different sizes. The largest one is the one you see in that music note hexagon, and the medium one is the one you'll see to the right of it, and then there's a super tiny one that I have in silver. So you see that super tiny one? That's the tiny one. I just really love the look of the little, they add a little bit of sparkle to your page, and when you just twist it around and look at it, it really just glistens. And I just mixed them here and there throughout the page. And then I wanted to use a strip of washi tape, but I wasn't sure where, so I actually decided to add 2 small little strips of washi tape to that little touch the sky Polaroid image type thingy down there. So I added 1 strip there, which I also adhered down my extra little thread, because I like to keep my thread. I think it adds a little sort of artistic look to it. And then I decided to go in with a little bit of the patina glimmer mist, which is what I sprayed the clouds with, and just splatter it on as well, just to sort of accent the clouds and make them flow a bit more evenly, because that color of the clouds was not anywhere else in my layout. And I'm using this super tiny pinwheel stamp from Studio Calico, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to be using some Sahara Sand ink from Stampin' Up!, which is like a really nice gray tone, and I'm just going to double stamp it, so I'm going to stamp it once, and that was just a test stamp. See, I re-inked it and stamped it once, and I'm going to stamp it again just to give it a sort of tone-on-tone double stamping effect, which is really popular right now, or really trending in the scrapbooking industry, I guess you could say. And I pulled out this Indie Chic stamp set from My Mind's Eye, and I'm actually just going to use the arrow. And you'll see I'll do it again, so this will give you a bit more of an idea of what I'm talking about by double stamping. I really ink up my stamp, and I stamp it once, and then I stamp it again at a diagonal. So as you can see, the page is coming together a bit more, and it's going to cut off right here, but all I did was I added a little small strip